This is episode 54 of the Part-Time Players podcast. This is the video game podcast where two pals this week discuss the video game news. My name is Reece Lagden. I am joined by my original co-host, Bradley Seeley.
Hello. It's just got one thing to say. It's coming home. It's coming home.
It's coming home.
It's coming home.
Well, it's either has come home or it has.
Yeah.
When it's recorded. So
it's
yeah,
good. Age badly. Yeah, it's either coming home or it's coming Rome because they've adopted it.
No.
Bastards.
Yeah, you just got to cross it out and just put an R in there.
Yeah, but we said, didn't we, last week when we were recording this, we said we could potentially be sitting here recording Sunday morning, England in the final of Euro 2020.
Yep.
And it is happened.
Yeah.
It's happened. So
I know we're here.
Yeah,
and this could be airing as we are the European champions, or we've come runners up to the Italians.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah,
you know, even if we don't win it, I think getting to the final is a good
achievement. Yeah,
good achievement.
Yeah, are you like going to be one of those parents like celebrate third place or seventh place medal? Nah. You're gonna have it on the wall.
What I'll do is I'll go out, I'll find my local pizza restaurant, and I'll smash it up. You're
gonna be one of those psycho dads on the side. You're on.
Yeah. It's either we've got people coming out, so it's either going to be everyone's all happy afterwards and we're drinking. Well, even though I work tomorrow, I'll be drinking late, or it'll finish and everyone's like, "Oh, we were."
Yeah, the amount of people that's probably going to call in sick tomorrow.
Yeah,
and your boss is clearly going to know that. Well, you've just got drunk and you just feel ill. You know, so I feel sorry for the people that generally are ill tomorrow that call in and then they don't get.
They're going to get sacked.
Yeah, it's like, we know what's going on. But anyway, this is a video game podcast, so let's crack on with video games. Obviously, like we said earlier, we do post on Monday. So if you want to watch the show, a video version, we post on YouTube. So just search Part-Time Players Pod. And we also have a audio version on podcast platform. Just search Part-Time Players Podcast, wherever you'd like to listen to your podcast, or on Google, and you should be able to find us. We've got all kinds of social media stuff going on, Twitter, Instagram. There should be a link tree in the description below. So interact with us, message us. I'm sure we will respond. We're not that unsociable.
Yeah, no, we will. I'll respond. Yeah,
you will. I'll think about
it. You'll consider
it. Yeah. Anyway, news story number one is Nintendo announced the Switch OLED model. So just run through the details and then we'll just go into our thoughts and controversy around it. So it's going to be releasing on the 8th of October, 2021, which is quite funny because you predicted that it would come out this year, right? Yep. And it's going to cost $309.99, so basically £310 in the UK. The notable features is that it's going to have a 7-inch OLED screen. The internal storage has increased to 64 gigabytes. Speakers have improved. There's also a LAN port, which is quite hilarious. That wasn't in there in the first place. And there's going to be a wide adjustable stand. Clearly, this is not the Pro that was rumored and I'm going to do leaked. And perhaps it was just all a load of clickbait nonsense. Obviously, there's a lot of hate towards Nintendo because of this, but perhaps, or we obviously can discuss it, who's kind of at fault here, but maybe it is these news outlets that decided to report all these things and set wrong expectations. But before we go into that, what is your thoughts on the OLED model, and will you buy one, or are you interested?
I won't buy one. I'll just keep my
Switch.
Switch, yeah. The stand, I never have it. I've never used the stand, so that doesn't really care. The LAN port doesn't really bother me. What's the size of the screen now? Is it
5.0? I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be nice a little bit bigger screen, but yeah, I don't. The games I play on the Switch, I don't really need to have a bigger screen, OLED screen. Like I've said in this podcast many times, I've played The Witcher from start to finish on the Switch, and I loved it.
Yeah,
it looked good. So for me, it's not. I probably wouldn't have bought, or not straight away. I probably wouldn't have bought a 4K model either, if it was 4K. So for me, I'll stick with my Switch I have now. I really enjoy playing on it. Obviously, it's great for playing on games on the move when you're traveling and that, when you're allowed to. I'm not too fussed with it. It's but like you say, it isn't the Pro like we thought was coming. So
Yeah.
but
I totally agree with you. I'm not going to buy it either, just because. Well, one, the Switch and Nintendo is not really my primary console, like PlayStation is. If I played the Switch as much as I played PlayStation and I did it portable, then I probably would invest because, why not? It's the thing that I play every day, but I don't. It's like here and there, whenever there's a game that I'm interested in, I'll just pick up and play it. And I generally don't finish the game anyway because I eventually just drift back to my PlayStation. I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I have with my Switch at the moment. But if I did play a lot and I did travel and I mostly played on handheld anyway, and I do prefer it like that. So if that was the case, then I probably would buy it. But for £310 for something that I'm just going to play maybe once or twice a year, probably not worth the investment. If it's a thing where I can trade in like my current Switch, because obviously why do I need two? And then it's like, oh, you can get this upgrade for like, I don't know, under £100.
Yeah.
And then maybe I was starting to play a bit more, then I'll be like, all right, fine, maybe that's probably a good upgrade. But unless if that does happen, then I might think about it, but probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And people like giving Nintendo a lot of hate. Like Nintendo for the last few consoles, they do their own thing. Like they've said they're not trying to compete with Microsoft or Sony in like the processing or the visuals and that. They just do their own thing. So I don't really know.
When's the last time they have competed with PlayStation stuff? What, PS was like GameCube? I feel like GameCube was even
against the PS2 maybe, but because after that they done the Wii, and I was like, look, we're going to do our thing,
Yeah.
So giving them stick, but they're not going to conform to the the standards of other consoles anyway. So it's
no, I totally agree, and it's kind of, I don't know, they do that, don't they, with their DS and their Game Boys. They just like to add little features and sell these models. And I reckon there probably is a Pro coming, but they're probably going to give us 4 different versions of the Switch before we eventually get this Pro or this Switch 2. Because it was always a bit confusing. It's like, are games going to run on both? But how can you have this console that's so powerful that going to run 4K and still run on the old Switch? I just don't. I don't get how it's going to work, and maybe how it's going to work is maybe cloud streaming. Is that how they get better games? So
that's how they're going to do the Guardians of the Galaxy game, isn't it? That's going to be streamed.
There you go. That's probably
So that's the only way they can have it on the Switch. So that's how that one's working.
Yeah,
but, I'm not really going to be. I'm not going to be investing in a Switch OLED.
No, am I? Yeah, going into like. I don't know, influencers, news reporters, journalists, or whatever you want to call these, everybody, the media. Do you think like they have a sense of responsibility for all this clickbait nonsense? That obviously they're the ones that reported on this, said it was going to be a Pro, and they have set wrong expectations there. Should they be made accountable, do you think? Or is it just for people to just take it with a pinch of salt when they read these stuff?
If you ever read a leak, you have to you have to take it, like you say, with a pinch of salt, because nothing's been confirmed. So you kind of have to, like, it's speculation. But, these, like you say, influencers, new, like journalists, whatever, whoever reporting it, they do it for clickbait. The more clicks they get, the more, more money they make. So they're going to put outrageous headlines and speculation. That's what they're going to do. But, it's, that's just part and parcel of it now, isn't it? I think that's just, that's it. That's what happens. So for me, as I say, it didn't really bother me, because I was thinking I'm not going to get a new one anyway. So
sure,
But for someone who was reading all the hype and really wanted a 4K model, they would be a bit disappointed, annoyed. But
it's what it is.
It's what it is. It's just that's life.
We have been obviously disappointed by rumors and leaks, a bit like WandaVision, for example, like all the leaks and rumors of that.
I got really deep into that. So
exactly, and you name things like forward to like all these other rumors, like the new Spider-Man movie. They're supposed to have like Tobey Maguire in it, and all the like. If that doesn't happen, is it then disappointing? And Disney or Marvel or whoever, MCU, haven't said this is happening.
No, so it's supposed to be coming out in December. There's not even been a trailer.
Exactly. So is it like just ignore all that? If he's not in it and all these other Spider-Man, it's not this multiverse crazy stuff that's going on, then I just feel like it's, I don't know. Just expectations just make you feel miserable, because it just turns out not to be. And the same with conferences. Like you see all these rumors and this is going to be here, this is going to be announced, and then those things are announced, and everybody hates on like Sony or Microsoft or EA or whoever because they haven't announced the game. That I don't know. I guess maybe it's a little bit on the company for riding the hype wave.
Yeah,
maybe they should come out and set expectations. Like, all right, guys, we're seeing a lot of rumors. This ain't happening, so just calm down.
Gets them publicity, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So and shareholders.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of works in their interest.
There can be some really bad. You know, you can get accused of some bad stuff, and that is bad publicity. So that phrase is wrong. That's the
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. OLED Switch. No, thank you.
Yep. Yeah. Nintendo. No, that didn't work.
You can't really do the Mario voice, no.
No. All right, let's do a Ubisoft.
Today we hate Mario because obviously Mario's Italian, so Mario, do one. Yeah.
I don't know about this hate, this racist hate. You know, just
No, just teams, just teams. Not as a. I'll shut up.
Yeah, you just see bad publicity.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna shave
bad
my
press
head off in a minute and just gonna be a hooligan.
Yep. Right, fine. Ubisoft announced AC or Assassin's Creed Infinity. Well, that's the code name anyway. It's not the official name yet because I think isn't Halo called Infinity. So, so this is going to be a cross studio between Ubisoft Montreal and Quebec, which I believe is their two biggest studios. So this shows how big this project is, that they're pulling their two biggest. And I believe Assassin's Creed was developed where they take turns, a bit like how Call of Duty is with all the Activision, where they go around and all take turns. So Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, he is claiming that the game seems to be in early stages of development and years away, but it will feature multiple settings where you can expand following the game's initial launch. He also reports that the game will perform and might look different and feel different as it's all been connected. So I'm kind of trying to read between the lines of what he's saying here. Obviously, all the rumors is that there's going to be a live service, and obviously using the machine of the Animus is that you're probably going to have Pirate Land or ancient Egypt or ancient Rome, or let's go to medieval England or whatever, and then you're going to have obviously a bit of an MMO or live service or where it's going to be. Maybe it's going to be more like Outriders or Division, but I've tried to get into Valhalla so many times, and I'm really
playing it yesterday.
Yeah, because off the back of this news, I also wanted to kind of judge it on how I would judge a live service game, because I play a lot of live service games. And I was like, has it got a lot of the DNA there? And it absolutely has. Like the structure of the skill tree of this constellation, it's very similar to what Elder Scrolls Online is. The whole armor system where you can upgrade it and you can add ruins, which have little stat effects, and the customization that's in the game, and it's got a huge store. They've clearly monetized the game to death. Yeah. So, and it's got loads and loads of tedious content, just loads of it, 100+ hours. So it's all they're missing now is just making it the option to make it multiplayer, and they're basically there. The game is already there if you play it. So I know you're not the biggest fan of live service games or multiplayer games, but it probably would have been nice if the other guys, because I know Ash is a fan of Assassin's Creed and Brad Moore plays live service games. But what is your takeaway from this? Is this a good move from Ubisoft? Can you see it working? What's your initial thoughts from outside?
I don't. Yeah, I say I don't really like a lot of live service games. I don't really play Assassin's Creed. I bought Valhalla because I wanted to have play something on the PS5, and I just think I got to England and then I stopped playing.
Yeah, I can't. Well, why was that?
I don't know. I just wasn't getting into it, and just a bit overwhelmed. The skill tree, and trying to find stuff to. There was stuff you can find to upgrade, and I went while you the beginning bit where you're in Scandinavia. I was trying to go to all the question marks on the map and everything, and then
mistake.
That's how I try and do it. But and I just kind of thought I'm just not enjoying it, so I stopped playing. And then went back to Spider-Man.
Sure.
And so for me, I'm not sure. A game I don't play plus live service game that I don't play. For me, this is going to be like I'm probably not going to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the idea that they're doing, like you say, like multiple. Did you say like multiple areas and like so it's going to be different, like
which makes sense with how Assassin's Creed work, where you're playing as one of your ancestors or bloodline. Or I don't know. I don't really know the lore that well in Assassin's Creed, but it's kind of changed from the days where you just played as Ezio and Desmond or whatever, where it was the connection thing. And I feel like that's one of the things that I'm now missing with Assassin's Creed is that you do play as a new protagonist each game. And it's like, oh, do I connect with this person? And you got the choice between playing as the male or the female version. Yeah. And it's like, oh, have I made the right choice? And I generally sometimes I like the characters, sometimes I don't. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Eivor in this. So then it's difficult to play a game for like a lot of hours when you just don't have a connection with the protagonist. Exactly, like I just don't particularly like the character that much. And I don't like where they've taken the combat. I feel like they've made it too, I don't know, they've added a lot of RPG elements, which they've done in the last couple of games, like Odyssey and Origins were like the start of it. And they've gone like full in. But I feel like they've added a lot of the unenjoyable RPG elements, like, oh, you got to eat or cook things to heal, or do you know what I mean? Like, add the extra role playing, which is like, all right, I don't really need that added to Assassin's Creed. Just make it a little bit more linear and a little bit more tight. And I don't need all these options for weapons. Like, I don't need 20 different weapons and there's only a few animations for each one. Just give us 2 weapons, maybe loads of animations, maybe I don't know. That's why I feel like Ghost, I just enjoyed it so much more. And
Ghost was so much more streamlined, like you say. It just felt tighter.
Like, one weapon, katana, mastered it.
What I can't remember what the smaller sword's called. I can't remember, but you get them 2 and you can upgrade them. You can upgrade them so you get more damage. You know, you can upgrade and you get kunai and you get some of the ghost moves like something like that. You can upgrade them, but you don't have to like, right, just got a katana. Oh wait, here's a new katana. Okay, oh, there's another one. And it's kind of like, Ghost had it right. I didn't like the way Breath of the Wild did it, where the weapons had took damage and they kept breaking. That annoyed me.
Sure.
Yeah, but I didn't like that at all. But like even the
Master, I don't know that feature. That's in like Elder Scrolls. I've been playing that a lot lately. This was that in Skyrim as well? I think that's in all Elder Scroll games where
Skyrim it doesn't.
The weapons don't take damage. Okay,
no, you can. I know you can sharpen them on like the stone. I don't think you can. No, I don't think they just don't take damage. Yeah, once you got it, you got it. Yeah.
Okay, they don't break in Elder Scroll. They just like lose. I think they call it they lose their integrity and you have to just but I've got loads of repair kits, so it's not a big deal. I just go in it, and then if you got like a staff, you have to use like a soul gem, and it recharges it, kind of thing. So
Witcher 3 done it though. Witcher 3 had to your weapons degraded. You had to use repair kits, and your armor you have to repair that with armor repair kits, which was less annoying than the Zelda one where like you're using a sword and it just like shatter. That was irritating. Now I've got a club. Like, let me use this club that
you're a bit of a fight. There's those enemies and maybe you should become a bit more prepared, people would say. But it was annoying. I totally agree with that. It's a very interesting move from Ubisoft, and I'm kind of optimistic. I've spoken to like a few people about that play Assassin's Creed or play live service games, and the overall general thing I'm getting is like it's just a negative. Like, people just don't like change, and they just like, and it's especially off the back of the fact that I think they said in the article when they did this statement that Odyssey and now Valhalla is like record breaking for Assassin's Creed. Like, they're sold more copies than ever, and like, so this is off the back of strength rather than weakness. Because the initial thing was like, oh, is Ubisoft like? I guess maybe they are trying to make. Well, they are obviously trying to make more money. Every company is, but I don't think this is a position where the game is dwindling and they need to make more money from it. I think it's just more, all right, we already put enough content in it to make it this type of game. All we need to do is tweak it slightly. And we could have a game where we just add DLC expansion packs once a year and people will just keep playing it. And I'll jump in. I like Assassin's Creed. If I can make my own character, and I can make my own little assassin, and I can jump from maybe pirate land to, I don't know, maybe I don't know, a bit like Westworld, isn't it? It's like you've got these different
different
rooms. Do you know what I mean? That you can jump from one place to the other, like depending on where you want to play this week. And then if you want to play with friends, you can. And if you don't, you want to play solo, then you can. I can see it being like that. I can see it being a bit like the Division, where you could properly play it by yourself. But if you want to do it with a squad, or there might be some like, I don't know, raid quotes, whatever they'll call their raid version or their dungeon version, where you probably have to do multiplayer.
Yeah.
It'd be one of those things where it's probably optional.
Yeah.
And I generally got friends that like to play these games. So my experience with like multiplayer games is very, very different. Like, I mean, live service games, because I don't really do the matchmaking stuff. Like I did matchmaking with
friends,
I did matchmaking with Avengers for the first time yesterday, because I was like, oh, let's just give it a go. Let's see what it's like. First of all, I was interested to see if I'd actually get people to join me, because obviously the player base is quite low. And I did. It did take long to find people. And it was like, wow, this is a completely different game playing with strangers.
Yeah.
The mission, it was a lot quicker, but because I always either play with myself, I just play with my friend that's got it.
I play with myself a lot as well. Yeah.
Do you really? You never play with me. Why don't you play with me? But yeah, and I imagine this game will probably be similar. You'll probably be able to play it by yourself, or if you want to play with a friend or jump into matchmaking, you can do. And I don't mind that. It's a bit like the Gotham Knights as well. It's going to be the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's like, it's multiplayer, but I quite like those types of games. I like that option to be like, let's do this thing with everybody. And then when I want to just do something by myself, I can. I like that option.
Yeah.
Especially when it's content that's like goes on for loads of time. After a while, I don't know. That's kind of why I like Ratchet. I know everybody's like, it's really short. And it's probably is a criticism. It's probably is a little bit too short. But I quite like the short, simple, just fun game. And that's why some of games are quite fun. It's like, I don't know, 15 to 20 hour game. I don't need 50, 60, 80 hours, loads of question marks, like loads of lore. Just give me something a little bit simple. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's, like you say, it's going to be interesting for you because you do like them. I don't like them. So, yeah. But like you say, it's a couple of years. It's years out. Isn't it? So it's
it'd be interesting to see if I think this is going to be the next Assassin's Creed. We're not going to get another new traditional whatever next year. Would have been next year, you would think the next, or maybe it is, maybe we are getting one next year, and that will be the final single player one. And then 2 years after that, this is when this launches. So what would it be? 2025. Imagine it's coming out in 2025 and GTA.
Everything's coming out in 2025.
This next game could also come out in 2025 or later, which is Elder Scrolls 6, which Todd Howard came out and spoke about.
I think Elder Scrolls 6 will come out in 2031, and it will be 20 years. It'll be 20 years since the last one. So, I reckon that's what it'll be. Yeah, it's a bit of a joke.
No, GTA gets a lot of hate, but this game is in the same ballpark, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it definitely is. Because, it's kind of the same. What did they bring out? They brought out this in Skyrim in 2011, Fallout 4 come out in 2015, and they did bring out Fallout 76. But again, I think it's all right now. But when it
they didn't even make it.
Well, but it's like Bethesda,
and it came out as such a mess as well.
Come out as a mess, broken. No one enjoyed it. There was nothing to do. I think, as I say, I think that it's better now.
I think what they've been doing all this time is what they mentioned in this is Creation Engine 2. They've rebuilt that engine, which it needed because Fallout compared to, I don't know, I think the comparisons was The Witcher at the time. And The Witcher was like, wow, okay, this is what put CD Projekt Red on the map, was how good that game looked and how well it played.
So it's
now back in Bethesda's call, they're
so
going to pass it back and forth to each other. Yeah. So until the next Witcher comes out, probably they'll take it back again. But to go on to the news story, to cut it short, Elder Scrolls, Todd Howard had a little interview. He's been talking recently quite a bit, and he basically said the game is still in a design phase. They're just checking the tech to see how it handles things on their new engine, as they're looking to add new technologies to the Engine 2, Creation Engine 2, that this game requires. I kind of brought this up because, one, I know you're obviously a big Elder Scrolls fan, you're a big Bethesda fan. First of all, I was wondering when you think this game's coming, which you obviously already mentioned. But also, do you prefer this transparency from Todd Howard and Bethesda, or would you prefer what Rockstar's doing, where they're completely silent and they're probably going to come out similar time, but yet we hear nothing from Rockstar at all about GTA. But yet we kind of know where Elder Scrolls is.
Yeah.
What do you think about?
I prefer it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it when they done E3 2015. I was like, bang, Fallout 4, and everyone was like, Fallout 4. And they was like, and guess what? It's at this November. And like, I prefer that.
Yeah, but, of course, yeah.
I prefer them, letting us know, because what Rockstar will do, they'll be like nothing, and they'll change their Twitter pic like they did with Red Dead, and then they'll make a big deal of it. They'll be like, oh, it's coming out next year, and everyone will be like, oh my god, it's like, yeah, but it's still been what? It's potentially, how many years would it be? Potentially 14 years between the games. So. I'd rather them let us know. It's disappointing, because you kind of think, oh, I wonder, you sit at home. I'm sitting at home and I'm like, oh, I wonder where, how far we're in development, and I wonder, and now we know it's still getting, design phase. But like you say, they needed to do the engine, and I just think a lot more companies now, they're just going to be so more cautious after what happened with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was like it's like a monumentous moment in gaming where all the other companies saw what happened, and they're like, we can never let this happen. This is why we're going to delay everything. And people are more understanding now, because be like, we're delaying it, and everyone's uproar. Be like, well, hang on. Cyberpunk, and they'll be like, yeah, it's true. So
absolutely,
I prefer them being open and honest. Yeah, that's just because they
sure.
Like we talk about a lot of these rumor mills, all these rumors, like, and we fall for them, and I fall for them definitely. Like, oh, it's going to be remakes of the original, PS2 trilogy of GTA games, and it's going to be set this time, it's going to be set that time. And Rockstar love it, because they're like, everyone's talking about the game, everyone's talking about the new game, and then they're going to go and buy shark cards for GTA Online. It's like a wheel.
Of course, yeah, they're loving it. Like, I know everybody's like almost hating that they're not announcing it, but it's almost positive press in many ways, because people want the game. They're moaning that they're not giving them what they want. So it's like, well, we'll just keep them waiting.
Exactly, yeah.
they can afford to do it. Related to Rockstar, I can't remember his name now. I should have done research and I should have got his name. But it was a news story last year. Do you remember the writer of Rockstar left?
Yeah.
He actually started a new studio, or he joined a new studio this week, funny enough. So it'd be interesting to see what he does, because clearly he was like, well, what's the point of being here? Like, you're not making any games. He literally was the lead writer of every GTA, all the Red Dead Redemption, like ECB is just incredible. Yeah. He wrote Bully, like all their games. So the fact that he's decided like, nah, I'm out, shows where they are, and it'd be interesting to see what he makes. It'd be interesting to see what he makes.
Would be really interesting.
Yeah,
it's understandable why he'd leave. If you're working for a game company, you really enjoy writing games, like he's, like you got Red Dead 1 and 2. They're kind of like blockbuster movie, really, writing, in a way. And if that's what you enjoy doing, and then you go work for his company where they're like, oh, we're going to release another GTA in 2025, apparently, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. So
maybe he's done all the writing for GTA. Maybe that part is done, and it's just about building the engine, and he just knows GTA 6 is probably going to be 20 years. So he's like, well, what's the point of staying here?
Exactly.
This is I can stay here and make money, which he's clearly done for GTA 5, where he got tens of millions from it. But he's like, well, he's probably a passionate guy, there's a good writer, and probably wants to write games. So he's like, well, I've made my money here. Let me go off and do my own thing. Same with Casey Hudson. Obviously, he came back to BioWare to do the Mass Effect stuff, but I believe he started a new studio this week as well. Okay. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it's quite interesting. Like the guys that did Dead Space as well. Like, you're more interested in their game.
Yeah, exactly. There's rumors of the EA reboot, whatever, of Dead Space, but then you've got the original guys that made the original Dead Space. Yeah, like you say,
making their own thing. So
or Project Callisto, and from the little teaser we got of it, it's like, shit, that looks
good. Yeah,
100% Dead Space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's almost like that quote from Ragnarok, like for Ragnarok, it's like Asgard are the people, not the place, or wherever the phrase say it is. I butchered that. But it's the same with like BioWare. It's like, can you be excited for the next Mass Effect or Dragon Age? I know it's got the name and the title and it's BioWare, but they're all left.
Yeah.
Like BioWare is not BioWare, and they've shown it from the last couple of games they've released. Andromeda, Anthem, like it's all right. They just did the remaster, but they're remastering games that are already great. So and I
know it's like a completely different studio, but you got like Bungie. Bungie made awesome, amazing Halo games. Everyone loves them. You know, Bungie left, they give it to 434, and it's just not the same. Like, and you can you can tell the difference, and it's just
absolutely. It's just because it's got a name of Halo doesn't mean it's the same. Exactly. So that's the problem that that a lot of these things have got. So it'd be interesting to see what these guys write. Obviously, these are writers, so it obviously means that they still got to have talented developers to actually bring their writing and their vision, which they might not have. Like BioWare and Rockstar are very talented back in the day when they were writing and making these things. So we'll see. We'll see. Same with the guy.
Examples of it as well, though, where people do stay at the same studios. Because you look at this. Have a look at Naughty Dog. Made an amazing game, really good. Last of Us 1, amazing writing, great story.
I'm worried about Neil Druckmann going to films. He's go on. Sorry.
Number 2 come out, absolute dog shit. So it's just,
same people.
It's exactly the same people, right? We're saying like the same people, but then the people change, and that's why it's bad. This is an example of same people. I don't know. Maybe they took a lot of drugs in between or something. I don't know. They
absolutely not.
It's fantastic. Didn't drink enough coffee.
No,
and they really dropped the ball. They dropped the ball on that one. They
didn't drop the ball. It was fantastic. And I'm also a little bit not worried, but concerned, whatever. But I can see Neil Druckmann going into TV.
I hope so.
Because he's hugely involved with the HBO show. He's like one of the producers, I believe, which is very good for the show. And I think the show is going to be great. I think they announced this week it's going to be 10 episodes. I think what Star Wars did to me with the what was the second of the sequel trilogy called? The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. That has done to Star Wars for me, what Last of Us 2 has done.
Oh my God, how can you compare the two? It's uncomparable, Brad. You're joking me.
Very comparable.
It's not.
Comparable.
No.
Just throwing stuff at a whiteboard, seeing with sticks. Like, put that in. Should we people love these characters. Should we mix up, put a character in we hate, make a play after the game? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. It sounds like a good idea. No. But we've been over this a lot on this podcast.
We have, and you like to bring it up a lot. So
I just want to. I'm like a masochist. I just hurt myself because it does. It hurts me all the time.
Well, that's the point. I get where you didn't like it, but it's still very, very progressive and very good, in my opinion. Anyway,
just didn't like the story.
No, I'm not saying it's a fun story. I'm not saying it's happy. It's very.
Play as a bloody woman. That's this
podcast is not going to age well. I'm kind of hoping we'll lose now, so people distract from that.
People are kind of just be like, he hates women. It's a joke, but people don't understand jokes anymore. So that was
well, you mentioned it twice as a joke, so it's fine. Yeah. Anyway. We was apparently talking about Elder Scrolls at one point. I need
to defend myself now. If you go back to the podcast where we did the Last of Us review, the first half of the game, the first week we talked about it, I was saying, I love it. It's so good. It's so good. And then the week after, I was just like, when I played the second half of the game, I was like, no, it's rubbish. So
yeah, I get the critiques with it. I do. I totally do. But
I even think it might have been better if it was like Ellie, because it's such. I don't know why we're talking about Last of Us 2 again, but it's such it's a drain. Like the themes of it, and it's so hard. Like it really drains you. Like I played it like nearly all day once, and I was like, oh God, I've got to go find look at a rainbow or something, cheer myself up. I
get that.
Get the end of Ellie's bit, and you're like, I'm emotionally and mentally drained, and then you're like, guess what? Play it again. It's like I just don't think I can.
I totally get that. It's I don't know. It's like watching a TV show that's quite dark and serious themed. I don't know.
Ozark.
Yeah, like Ozark. Breaking Bad. I was thinking like Breaking Bad.
I can't watch too many Ozarks at a time. So,
do you know what I mean? It's like, all right, sometimes I just want to watch Cobra Kai or something funny like that. I quite like that. It's quite light-hearted.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly that. Like a sitcom. I get that.
Yeah.
It's what you're in the mood
Friends.
for. And that is a very heavy, taxing game that you've got to be in the mood for.
Yeah.
I totally get that. But it is well written, it's well done, and it is what it is. But I do want them to move on now. I think it's time for them to do something a little bit different and maybe something a little bit more lighthearted, but still very Last of Us, not Last of Us style, but Naughty Dog style in terms of their narrative writing, because they are the best still.
Yeah.
Hands down for that. Go to space. I want them to make a sci-fi thing, please.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah. More action, more, but still
guns.
Yeah. I feel like they could do it.
Space zombies.
No zombies. Stay away from zombies.
Yeah.
Stay away from heavy themes. Just Naughty Dog game in space. Do it.
Yeah,
Sail on the moon or something on Mars.
Yeah.
Very good. Be cool. Anyway, segue and staying on PlayStation. We had a state of play last Thursday, which was mainly focused about Deathloop, and we'll talk about our thoughts about the game and whether or not we're going to play it, etc. I'm just going to have a little quick run through some of the games that are announced and some thoughts. So if you want to cut me up or interrupt, if you have any thoughts on any of the games. So the first one was Moss Book 2, which is clearly a VR game. They didn't say the platform, so I'm expecting it's going to be PlayStation VR 2.
Yeah.
You would expect. I didn't play the first one. I heard good things about it. It was one of the better games of PlayStation VR, but imagine people that are fans of the first would like this. So the next game that was shown was Arcade Geddem, which seems to be a PvP game. I don't know. I don't even remember what it looked like, but it's in early access now, I wrote. So there you go. Tribes of Midgard. It was another game that I believe is coming out soon. They announced there's going to be a battle pass and there's going to be some post-content launch stuff. It just looks like a bit like a generic Diablo. I don't know. It just looked like a bit of an aerial view. I don't know. There's nothing that, I don't know, just fine. The next game they showed was Fist, which was code for Forge in Shadow Torch, which is an absolute sick name. It's coming out the 7th of September. It's a Metroidvania side-scrolling game. It looks fun. It looks really good. I saw that it was on discount if you got PS Plus. So if you are interested in buying it, then maybe check it out now.
Take advantage of the discount.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we got the next game was Hunter's Arena, which seems to be a melee PvP battle royale, which is out now, I believe. But it's going to be on PS Plus in August, so I wouldn't bother buying it. It looks very odd. It didn't. I don't really get it, if I'm honest with you. Do you know what I mean? It just looked.
Yeah.
Do you remember this game? It just looked like very generic.
Yeah.
It was like it was an open world thing, but then if you met someone, it then turned into like an arena fighter. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there.
I've just got to mute my mic a minute because my dog's going to bark and they're going to deafen everyone, including us. So
all right, well, I'll keep going then.
You keep chatting. I'll
yep. So the next game was Sifu, which is this like close combat kung fu game. They announced that it's going to be delayed to early 2022, which is a bit disappointing because I'm really looking forward to this game. It's probably, out of all the games shown here, probably my most anticipated. I'm going to buy it day one. I think it looks really cool. I like the fact that you age every time you die, and I don't know what the consequences are. Maybe you don't hit as hard, and I don't know. Yeah, it's very interesting that the game loop that they've introduced here. So, when that does eventually come out, I will be buying it. The next game was Jet, which seems to be just an exploration game. There's no combat in it. It reminded me a little bit of Race to the Sun and No Man's Sky a little bit, where you're just in this ship. It's probably going to be on like PS Plus one day, so you probably want to wait for that, I guess. But interesting. Demon Slayer game, which is being published by Sega here in the West, which is quite interesting. I'm a Demon Slayer fan of the anime, so I will be checking it out. It's probably going to be one of those games that are just bad unless you're a fan and you're just going to play it. So I'll give it a go. It's being made by CyberConnect 2. That made Dragon Ball Kakarot and stuff like that. So they probably are the better studio if you're going to get someone to make an anime game. The next game was Lost Judgment, which is a spin-off from Yuzuka. You can tell it's made by the same studio because it's so wacky and that Japanesey type game with all the little mini games and stuff. Those games look crazy. I've never played one.
Like Yakuza or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of, my friend's got one who I game share with. He's got the Judgment. And I know it recently got an update for PS5. So I was like, all right, let's give it a go. Because it seems like this is going to be their action series where user codes go into more RPG or JRPG. But I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I can get into this. It's a little bit, maybe it's a little bit too late. But yeah, that's coming out on the 24th of September. Death Stranding, Director's Cut. We saw a little bit more of that. PS5 enhancement. It's coming out on the 14th of September. There's new missions and there's a racing mode, which I never played Death Stranding, but it seems a little bit strange. Just Kojima is just mad, isn't he?
I didn't play it, and what I did see of it did look odd, and I was just it's got a lot of what was it? They advertised was it Monster Energy drink? I think it was like just in there as well. Like Norman Reedus was just drinking a Monster Energy drink.
Yep.
Baby in a bottle.
Yeah.
Big backpack. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange.
I've heard it's good though. I've heard that if you stick with it, it is good.
Yeah, I heard it was one of those things, a bit like I guess like a Last of Us, where it's kind of like you got to play it and make up your own mind whether you're going to like it or not. You're either going to probably love it or you might hate it. It's one of those very strange games that doesn't make any sense. A bit like a lot of the Metal Gear games. I've played a few of them. I'm not into the franchise like you are, but whenever I do, I'm just like, I'm lost. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just playing it at the moment.
You say I'm into it. Like I haven't played one. I didn't play 5.
Didn't you play 5? Oh, okay.
No, I just didn't know what was
I
going
played 5.
on.
It's
I
good.
was watching it and I was watching a
trailer. It's on PS Plus.
I know, and I was like, just don't know what's happening. Like, I just don't. Yeah, I think the last one I played properly was 4, and that was just like a film. It was just a trailer, really. Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably not going to get another one again, perhaps. Konami is, I don't know what they're doing with their franchises. But anyway, the main part of the show was about Deathloop, and that was obviously shown last. So this is Arcane Games game. It seems to be a first-person shooter action game.
Yep.
It seems to be some kind of like, obviously in the name, Deathloop, but it seems to be like some kind of loop system when you die and the day resets, but it's apparently not a roguelike like Returnal where you lose all your stuff and the world change. It changes the same. There seems to be some more stealth elements where I didn't realize from the trailer that we saw, where you can actually stealth and you can listen to like NPCs and get information, which seems to be a little more in depth than I thought was going to be into it. Also, the invader that comes in will be another player. I'm sure you probably would be able to turn that off because that's one part of the game that really puts me off. Because whenever it sounds cool, but then when it comes to it, it's like, I remember even like Watch Dogs, I hated it. I like turned it off immediately. Like someone's invading your game, and you got some like 14-year-old kid that plays COD. It's like doing some like mad quick scoping across the map. I'm just like, I don't need this. Like, leave it.
You're playing it to have some fun, and it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh god. Someone just comes in my game and just ruins my life. It's just like, oh no. So I'm sure there will be some toggle where I don't know, just get the computer to do it instead. But it looks cool. The art style, the aesthetic, I feel like it just oozes coolness. I really like it. I'm on the fence whether or not I'm going to give it a go. If my friend that I game share with wants to give it a go, I'll probably go halves with him. But I don't know. Yeah. What's your thoughts as a more of the Bethesda fan on it?
Just looking at the trailer again now, and it does look good. Like you say, the aesthetic is really pleasing.
Yeah,
it looks amazing, and like the concept is really good as well. I like that. Obviously, got to kill the certain amount of people within the loop. I think it's 8. And then if you do get killed, and you can then tackle it a different way, and someone's hunting you. So yeah, great concept. It's just I'm not into arcane games. I tried to play
Dishonored.
Sorry.
Dishonored? Is that what you're saying?
Dishonored. Yeah, tried to play that and I just couldn't get into it. That's the thing that puts me off is it gonna be like that kind of situation where I just can't get into it. But it does look really good. Like looking again, like I say, watching the trailer now, it does look, I don't know, it just looks really, I love the setting. And I like the setting. I like the music. It's so cool. Yeah. And it's like, oh, maybe you should give this game a go because it looks completely different to Dishonored, which I didn't particularly like. And I never played Prey. Did you play
Their other game, Prey.
No, not the new
See,
one.
I've always, because I wasn't that into Dishonored, I kind of avoided their games, but maybe that was a mistake because, they're clearly a very talented studio and they make great games. And it's cool to see a game that's different. It's not like the same type of game. I'm intrigued. And although I feel like we've seen this game so much, it's got to the point where it's like, just release already.
Yeah.
I was still like, before watching this, I was still like, I still don't get it. Like, how does this whole thing work? Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of like, this probably did need a bit of a deep dive anyway. So
they've spoken about it as well, haven't they? So like, if you've got to kill two people, one of them, I think it was a scientist, and if you sabotage his experiment, he can't do it. So then he goes to the party where there's another one of the people you're hunting. So yeah, like all those varying, like, different branches and solutions of doing it as well is really good.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
When's it out? When's it?
I didn't put the day. I believe it's September. Early September. I'm pretty sure.
It doesn't say it. This thing I've got up here. It doesn't say when it's out. Can look forward to throughout. No, it doesn't say.
No? Yeah, it's definitely early September. I'm pretty sure. Very confident in that. But going back to...
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, it does. Yeah, September 14th.
Okay, there you go. Going slightly back to two things we were talking about. One, Death Stranding Director's Cut, and also Last of Us. So Death Stranding, and also we've got Ghost of Tsushima, which are two director's cuts. Do you think this is going to be a theme with PlayStation, Sony this generation, where we're going to get director cuts?
Yeah.
And do you see us, the next game that we get in that will be The Last of Us director's cut, which will be PS5 upgrade, and maybe that factions will be bundled in, and maybe there will be some... Can you see that happening?
Yeah, with the
absolutely.
The Last of Us, they'd have to factor in, because I know like director's cut for Ghost of Tsushima, but you are getting like some DLC. So if they're just doing a Last of Us director's cut and it is just PS5 upgrade, then that's a bit of a...
You see factions, which they're still working on, and could that be bundled into it?
They'd have to put factions into it, which I'm not interested in, but I think they'd have to. But I can see it, definitely. It's like, Game of the Year editions when they have all the DLC is good. Like, I've got the Witcher Game of the Year edition for like £17.
Yeah,
well worth it. Oh my god! Like, but Ghost of Tsushima came out last year, and then they're like, "Oh, director's cut this year," and it's like, well, if he's going to keep doing this, do so I'll not buy it. I'll wait till the better version comes out, or if the DLC is good, I don't mind. How much was it? About £20.
Which one?
The Ghost of Tsushima, if you already own it on PS4, you can upgrade, can't you? You can buy like a...
So it's weird at the moment how it is on the store. So it will end up being $24.99 altogether, but you can only, from what I've viewed, because I looked at the store to see if I can buy it. So you can buy the PS4 to PS4 version, which is $15.99, I believe, at the moment. And then it says in the thing to upgrade to the PS5 version, it's £9.
Right.
So, but you can't buy the PS4 to PS5 upgrade on the store at the moment for some reason. They've only got the full price version, which is £70, or the PS4 upgrade. I don't know why they haven't got the PS5. I'm sure it'll go up eventually, but it's a little bit odd that only one's on the store at the moment. But it'd be £25 basically for...
I think that's a bit. That is a bit steep.
Do you think? I don't think so personally.
Yeah, no, I think we bought the game, and we bought it in PS4, and the PS5 games are more expensive, but for a year later, you want most, like Microsoft, they're doing these. I know if you're getting some content, it's cool, but really look at Microsoft, like when they're bringing out the Xbox Series XS version, they're just doing it for free. They're like, you got the game, you got the XS, you can have it. You can have the better version for free.
Yeah.
Where Sony seem to be putting it behind like a paywall of, oh well, you want the best experience, you have to pay for it, and you get some DLC, but would the DLC on its own never be £25? No, like what was it was about 15 or something like that. So
obviously it's all subjective to how you value it, and we don't know how long the content is or how good it is, and there's obviously a lot of extras that are added, and also there's going to be extras to the multiplayer stuff, Legends. So it could be well worth £15 for the DLC content, and it's £9 for the upgrade. But in comparison to Xbox has the luxury of having a mother company being Microsoft that makes trillions. And I'm pretty sure Sony's most profitable part of their business is PlayStation. There's a very difference. And it's quite clear that Xbox is not making any money from Microsoft whatsoever. It's actually losing money for them, but they have the luxury. So yeah, Xbox can eat money and give things away from free and pay out big, massive checks and buy Bethesda for 17 billion and do all these things. But unfortunately, Sony can't, and they may have to charge you £15. So, it's just a situation, I guess. But here's what it is.
Yeah.
That's it for the news this week. Shall we? I don't know. We've gone on for quite a while. Maybe we should just make it a newsy episode this week.
Yeah, I was thinking that. We've gone in. It's another long episode, isn't it? Every week we've when there's news.
We're like Rockstar, aren't we? We just like keep. Well, we're announcing it, so we're a bit of a tease.
Yeah,
but we're making you wait for the favorite protagonist.
But don't you worry. When it happens, it's going to be good.
Yeah,
it's going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the games I've mentioned two of the games that my protagonist featuring were mentioned in today's episode. So a little tease. I feel like your one was exactly. Exactly.
There you go.
So yeah.
It's even drawing people even more in. They're like,
it's like what is it?
Yeah. I need to so maybe this is another news episode catching up. You come here to find the news, and I'm sorry if it's boring, but we will be coming back with themed episodes. I think it's when the other guys are coming in as well. But next week we can promise it will definitely be a themed episode.
Yeah, when they come back eventually, where they are exploring the world or wherever they're doing. But have you got any of your segment stuff?
I don't have any this week because it's just us two again. To be fair, you could have taken the lead. I feel like
you should just give me the points at default just for turning up.
Yeah.
Just put the things on there. But okay, cool. I guess. Have you played anything different this week?
We've played. We've got to do our thing about PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus game of the week.
Segment where we're going to be doing like when a PlayStation Plus game comes out in a month, we'll pick one and we'll give it a go and see if we like it or not. If we're going to go back into it. So this month's game was Plague Tale Innocence. Or was it Innocence Plague Tale?
No, Innocence.
Played it. Really good looking game. Like the visuals on it are amazing.
Yep.
I don't know if it's because we're playing the PS5. I
think it's PS5 only.
Yeah. Oh, is it PS5? Okay. So yeah, it looks really, really good. And I think there's 12 chapters. I played the first chapter to be about 40 minutes maybe.
All right. So look, you put into it under an hour.
And from what I played of it, I enjoyed it. Typically, games where you have to have a mission or like a quest, whatever, where you're babysitting someone, I hate it. And this game, I think, is literally you are babysitting the whole game. So you're your brother. What's his name? Hugo. I think his name is Hugo.
Yeah.
So you have to look after him. And like you didn't really have to do it like in the first chapter, but there's bits where you have to leave him to go get somewhere, and if you have a little counter. So if you leave him for too long, he kind of goes a bit he gets traumatized or scared, and he alerts the guards. So it's I can imagine it being a little bit frustrating. But from what I played of it, it's good, and I think I will go back to it. For a PlayStation Plus game, obviously you're not, it's included in your subscription. I won't say it's free because people are like, it's not free because pay subscription, but it's well worth a go. I think it's good. What about you? You played it as well. You got about as far as I did, I think, didn't you?
Yeah. So I only left the house for people who don't know what the game is. It's a stealth. You say stealth horror? It's definitely stealth. I don't know if it's horror-y.
Well, yeah. There's a bit at the beginning where it's a pretty horrific scene where the dog dies. So that's that's pretty,
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you've said. I think it's very pretty. I like the particle effects when you're like in the forest at the beginning and the leaves fall in. I thought that was very nice. The first thing that took me back was the voice actors' French accent.
Yeah, you said that.
It was just very noticeably my opinion, not very good. I don't know. Some moments it did sound French, sometimes it didn't sound French, to the point where I actually switched it to French audio with English subtitles at one point.
I know what you mean. Yeah, at one point when you first meet the mum, she sounds English, and you're like, "Oh, okay, is this French guy married an English woman?" Whatever. And then by the end of the chapter, she's like got this French accent. It's like, what's happened here? It's kind of like Wanda Maximoff's accent in.
Yeah, it goes back and forth. It's very inconsistent. It's very strange. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It's odd. But yeah, it's set in France, as you probably can tell.
In the 12th century, I think it is, like 1300s or something. I think it is.
Yeah, 1300. Yeah, 1348, I believe. The English has invaded or here, and you basically got to escape. From what I saw, yeah, you basically got to escape your house, and you got your little brother as a little companion who like he's holding your hand. If you leave him, he'll start. It's very irritating, like Brad said. Companion is not useful like Atreus in like God of War or something like that. He hasn't got like a skill tree where he can like bow and arrow people.
Or Ellie in Last of Us 1, and she just kind of gets out of the way and then goes and stabs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not a good companion, in my opinion.
Useless.
I played probably a little bit less than what Brad did. It's not for me. If you like stealth games, and I also don't really play these types of games, so I can't compare it. Like, how does it compare to like other stealth horror games? It was just like, okay, I get it. Pretty. If you like this type of game, you got the patience for it. Give it a go. It's on PS Plus, but not my cup of tea. Won't be picking it up again.
I really like PlayStation Plus, especially this year. Maybe not so much, in other years as well. I've played Mad Max. That was on PlayStation Plus. That's one of my favorite games. But I really like the PlayStation Plus. Gives you, and as well as Game Pass as well, but I play that less. It gives you opportunity to play games you wouldn't have. Like Concrete Genie, I would never have played that. Come out on PlayStation Plus, I thought I'd give it a go. You know, Marquette, again, another fun puzzle game.
Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks. We would never have played any of these games.
Yeah.
But it just gives you the opportunity to give them a go, and I think it's really good. It's like this. I wouldn't have played The Plague's Tale. And I think I will go back to it. You know, it's
really okay.
I like a little bit more of a, chilled out, gaming. Well, I suppose it really will be chilled out because I have to be babysitting. Oh no, damn it, I don't know. Yeah, I think I will go back to it.
Yeah, I won't, definitely won't. But it's good. Subscription service has definitely improved. Clearly, that is an impact from, like you mentioned, Game Pass and Microsoft and probably Sony, PlayStation. Do feel like they probably need to give more value to their services. So that is definitely noticeable since the PS5 has launched. Even with like, I don't know, like, I'm not a big fan of it, but it's a big game. Like Oddworld came day and day. We had Control, like the upgrade for that was on it. I know we haven't also played it because it's not been reviewed very well, but Instruction All Stars was also been on it as well. So there's been a lot of games each month, and it's definitely been a step up since what it was for the PS4, which every now and again had like a goodish game. I know The Last of Us has been on it, and I know like Uncharted Collection, and it's had titles like that. But
Farming Simulator.
Exactly, big games like that. So it has had here and there some big titles, but it was more rare, I would say. Like even like with PS Plus now, I think I saw that Red Dead Redemption 2 is on it.
Yeah,
and you can download it, and it's like, okay, wow, are they starting to try and compete with Game Pass? Because was on
Game Pass, but it was only on there for like 3 months, I think, and then they took it off because I was going to play it again on Xbox on Game Pass, and I was like, oh, that it weren't there, so it was there for about 3. I think it went in on May, and it went off in like October or something. So I think the same with this. I don't think it's on there permanently. No. I think it will eventually leave, but it's probably like when you see games like that on PS Plus and although Game Pass gets so much love. It's like, does Game Pass, with all its like quantity of games, does it have any games with the quality of God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2, which are both on PS Plus? Do you know what I mean? It's like it's got those two games, but is there any games on there that are better than that? Probably, in my opinion, not. Outer Worlds was a big one. Day one on there, that was pretty good. But I know what you mean. Yeah, there's only big hitters like. Well, like we said before, Sony they're only going now for blockbuster games. That's all they want.
Even with like the collection, you look at the games in the collection, like the quality is unbelievable. Like
maybe you should start adding to that. You know what I mean?
Have they added anything to it? I feel like they've added one game. Have they added anything to it?
I don't think they've added anything to it. I think it's just the same games that was there when you know. But imagine if they had the collection, they put Spider-Man in there or something. It just, you know, big game. So
yeah, and like Ratchet eventually,
yeah,
and things like that. Yeah, no, they should add to it with their first party stuff, because like what is missing from the PS4 era that's not in there, you'd think they would add. I don't know.
Yeah,
I believe all the Naughty Dog stuff is in there, and maybe add ghosts eventually, and I don't know. They can add things, certainly.
Yeah, no, definitely. But like I said, I will go back to it. If I do go back to it, I will let everyone know what how I feel. So yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's it, really. Yeah.
Yep. Do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, so you can follow us and find us anywhere. We're on our social media platforms. We're on Twitter and Instagram, and they are both at PT Players Pod. I haven't been posting as much on Instagram lately, but I will get back to it. Reece is in charge of Twitter, so you can follow him there. Well, we both dip in and out of Twitter. Facebook is the Part-Time Players Podcast, and our YouTube is the Part-Time Players Pod. So you can watch us, not only listen to us if you want to.
I've got PlayStation platforms to interrupt.
Go on, sorry, what? Sorry?
To go back before you end. I gave Remote Play a go, because I just wanted to see how it is.
Oh, okay.
And like with everybody's like talking about like with xCloud and stuff like that. I was like, I wonder how it works with PS5 to like if I can play my iPad, and I'll just play in my bed. So I connected my DualSense to my iPad. Oh, it's terrible.
Is it bad?
Don't do it. It's shockingly bad. So framey. There was lag. Yeah, terrible. That's all I wanted to say. Was how bad it was. I was shocked about how bad it was. But good. Sorry. Keep it.
Yeah.
If
you follow if you want to watch us on YouTube, and if you do follow us on any of our social medias or YouTube, please like and subscribe. It really just helps, and it's just clicking that little thumbs up button and the follow button. Yeah, we really do appreciate it as well. There's a link tree in our bio for all the platforms where you can download. So we're on like Stitcher and Apple Music and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. We're on a few, Podbean. So follow us and download anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. And we'll be back next week, either happy or sad that England have lost the Euros. So it's that's it.
I'll be over it by then.
Oh yeah, so I'll put it tomorrow. That's it. Yeah, but thanks for listening, watching wherever you are, and
thanks for your support as always.
Show the t-shirt on to it. Let's go with that.
It's coming home.
I was going to play the song, but I just couldn't find the right
copyright as well, and then we just
copyright. So we won't.
We lose all our money from YouTube that we make from it.
Actually, a deficit at the minute. So maybe next week.
Jokes on Google every time they demonetize our content, because it's like, there you go. Anyway, on that bombshell, goodbye.